Hey there, and welcome back to Valley por Vida. Now, as promised, there's a lot going on this month, and we're going to break down a few of the fun observances that you can take part in for June. So according to nationaldaycalendar.com, the month of June marks National Home Ownership Month. This is a great time to learn about the ways that you can save money if you're looking into becoming a first-time home buyer, or if you're already owning a home, it's a great time to look into tips and easier methods of maintaining your house. Now, the month of June also marks National Turkey Lovers Month, so be sure to learn all you can about this unique creature and all that it has to offer to the bird species. Now, whether you choose to take part in the celebration of these national observances or not, we hope that you have a great month of June. And what better way to honor your local community than with knowledge and preparedness when it comes to safe driving. TxDOT has a new campaign that they'd like for us all to be aware about, and these tips can not only, just help save lives of everyone in our home, but can help prevent any accidents from happening on the roads as well.
Hello, everyone. Ray Pedraza, Public Information Officer for TxDOT, the FAR District. And this week, we are observing Work Zone Safety Awareness Week, where we're basically calling issues to traffic safety, particularly in work zones. Texas has more than 3,000 active work zones across the state of Texas on the 80,000 miles of roadways that TxDOT oversees. Here in the Valley, we have about 50 active construction projects and probably another dozen work zones where we have our crews doing pavement repair, traffic signal repairs, and other work out there. So it's very important for drivers to be alert when they're in a work zone. We've seen, unfortunately, a big spike in traffic accidents in work zones across Texas. In fact, a 33% spike over the prior year. In 2021, 244 people lost their lives in work zones, and another 856 were seriously injured. Very important that people slow down and stay alert. The three primary causes of these accidents are people speeding, of course, not obeying that posted speed limit, distracted driving, people on their phones, and then, of course, making unsafe lane changes. Too many times, you may have seen it yourself, where traffic is merging, from 3 lanes to 2 lanes, and you see that one person speeding ahead, trying to cut into the front of the line. And so we always see those type of accidents. So those are the 3 primary causes. So our advice to drivers is slow down, follow the posted speed limit, and remember that traffic fines in work zones double. Also pay attention, avoid distractions, put the phone away. That phone call or that text message can wait. Your life and your family's life and the lives of other people around you, including those work zone construction workers, are more important than that phone call or that text message. Watch out for our road crews. The only protective gear they have is the reflective clothing, the hard hat, and the safety boots. They want to get home safe too. Don't tailgate. Always allow yourself plenty of room between yourself and the vehicle in front of you, and also the vehicle to the side of you. Rear end collisions are the most common in work zones. Once again, because drivers are not staying alert and not paying attention. And then just always allow yourself extra time. We know that there's plenty of road construction throughout the FAR district and throughout the state of Texas, for that matter. So always allow yourself extra time to make sure that you get to your destination on time. You know that construction zones are going to slow you down. So please, again, just give yourself that extra time.
It's not only a good idea to be courteous while on our roads, but also when we're in the workplace. But did you know there's actually workplace etiquette to take part in when we're in the office? Well, according to northeastern.edu, apparently there are actually do's and don'ts when it comes to workplace etiquette. The site says, for example, that when it comes to emailing practices, it's best to not reply all when you need to reply to an email. Instead, reply only to those parties who are necessary. That way the chain isn't extended for those who don't really need to see it. And of course, make sure all your digital correspondence is polite, friendly, and professional, especially if involving clients or members outside the organization, just to help keep the overall public brand on point. The site also says that while we want to be personable online, it's best not to have personal conversations while we're at our desk. Yes, our coworkers often become like family since we see them so often, but we want to keep our office space a working environment. So if you have to have a personal conversation about something, then maybe go outside of work with somebody, or wait until your lunch break, or take it outside for to a private conference room. Many different options. The site also says it's a good idea to not bring too many emotions into the workplace, but of course, if something is bothering you, it's always a great idea to speak with a department head or a human resources representative. And it's a good idea to ask questions too, whether it's a workplace procedure, assignment, or any other job-related topic you have questions about. The site says that we can't be too afraid to get clarification on something either. When, we've got to learn to be willing to ask the right questions so that we can understand the task at hand and then complete it well. Now, those are just a few of the things that the site says that we should not do. But what about what we should do? Well, it outlines that we should always arrive to work early. It even says it's a good idea to be in office before your supervisor and make sure you have extra time to take care of your responsibilities. The site also says that it's a good idea to network with other employees who are outside of your department or your office area. This is just, you can communicate, a way for you to communicate with others around you, and it's just good for your career growth. It opens more opportunities. And it's also a good idea to make sure that your email signature is not only set up on your computer, but also on your mobile device. That way you can properly represent your company no matter what you're emailing from. And of course, try to be flexible with anything you do, for work. It's a good idea to be able to adhere to strict deadlines, of course, but it's also a good idea to be able to work around things when needed. It shows a lot of adaptability. Not only with projects and assignments, but also with volunteering, maybe to cover someone else's shift or being able to assist other employees with other work-related events. It's all good for overall camaraderie. But in the words of characters from the Broadway musical Annie, perhaps it's most important to remember the #1 rule of workplace etiquette. And that, my friends, is you're never fully dressed without a smile. The site says that outwardly showing a positive attitude helps others at work to know that you're approachable, and it can definitely help to build teamwork as well. So definitely keep that one in mind too. And on that note, thank you again so much for joining us today with all that we have going on. And be sure to tune in again next time too, because we're going to have a lot more in store. And as always, don't forget to follow our team on social media for everything that we've got coming up on the show. And it's also your chance for your comment or your question to be featured on air. And as always, be sure to visit valleycentral.com to rewatch some of today's favorite segments. For all that and so much more, next time on Vida. We'll see you then.